And today, you know what time it is. You know what day it is. It's Friday, and we got another segment of the Dirty 30 with JO2. This is part 5. If you don't know, if this is your first time tuning in, essentially how we do it is like this. Every 1 week, I'll have an interview. I'll interview somebody that I find interesting from any walk of life. And then the next week, we have the Dirty 30 with JO2, which is where we at this week. Where I run down different questions that are sent in to me through the internet, through my friends, from anybody. Just send me questions in on my social medias. If you're watching the YouTube video, all my social medias will be tagged in the description below. Make sure you hit that bell so you can follow me and know when I post and updates and all that, right? If you're listening to the audio form, my Instagram, JAY_ONEIL. Again, that's JAY_ONEIL. Twitter, TBG_ONEIL. And Facebook is just JAYONEIL. You can follow me on any of those platforms. Shoot some questions to me, and I will put them on my next segment of the Dirty 30. Without further ado, let's get right into it, baby. Part 5. First question. Excuse me. I've covered this before, but I guess it's a very prevalent question in my era and, my generation. So it got sent to me again, so I'll give you my thoughts again. And I've thought a little more on it, so maybe this answer will be more in depth. The question is, submitting to your man. What are your thoughts on that? Shout out to Deja for sending this question to me. Submitting, I feel like the word submitting is what's rubbing a lot of women the wrong way. They think it's this old, outplayed definition of, I do what the man tell me to do, and I don't question it, and I don't want to do that because this is 2023 and I got my rights and I can move. Yes, listen, when someone says submitting, they don't mean this ain't feudal Japan. You're not going to do everything a man tells you to do. No. That's not what submitting means in a modern society. You got to understand that. Submitting means you're comfortable enough to follow that man into whatever situation y'all go into together, because at the end of the day, y'all partners, right? You're not just someone who's tagging along. You're not his daughter, right? Even though I see that a lot of women they call it the princess treatment. They want to be treated like princesses, but you're a grown woman and that's your partner. You're not his daughter. So he's not going to treat you like that. Man going to treat you as a grown woman. But with that being said, I feel like, and this is me saying it as a man and I have a unique perspective of how I look at things, right? One thing I'm very big into is learning. And to learn, you have to submit to a master. That doesn't mean I have to follow everything they say as if it's the Bible. I mean, you can challenge your master a little bit. It's acceptable. The only master you shouldn't challenge is the one that's standing above us, because he knows everything. We can't do we can't do nothing with him, and we shouldn't try. But any human, any person that's made of flesh and bone, in some level, you should challenge, and you should question. So yes, you have to find a master to become better. Someone that's enlightened, someone that will teach you, and someone that respects you and treats you with respect. And that also applies to any situation, relationship, be that a relationship with an intimate relationship with a person that you're invested in, or just a relationship and friendship. If someone knows more than you and you can learn from that person, you have to be humble and level-minded enough to be like, hey, I don't know this. Can you help me? And that's very important when being in a relationship with a man. You have to be respectful to men. We operate off respect. If you disrespect your man, or you belittle him, or you talk down to him, and you like, well, I've been trying to push him to be better. No, that's not pushing. That's being an asshole. You're talking shit at that point. You're not actually trying to improve your man. You're not trying to improve the situation. You're just, you're picking and you're poking. And that right there is not going to do anything but drive a real man away. Now, a bitch motherfucker might stay because he ain't got nobody else. But I'm going to be honest with you, even a motherfucker that's soft, at some point, he going to get tired of the bullshit. And he's getting the fuck out of there. Not going to take all that abuse. But a real man's not, he's not going to even deal with that to start off. You got a problem, you always got an issue, you always around some drama. That's something you got to figure out in yourself internally. I got to let you go. You see what I'm saying? But if you are comfortable with that man and you know he has a plan, he's focused, and he's teaching you and you can teach him, yes, it's okay to submit. We all have to submit. I submit to God. Hell, I can't fight God. I can't do it. I know that. But I can learn from him because there's so much, everything he knows that I don't. So, yeah, you got to submit at some level. So it's okay to do that. Just don't think it means you're giving up your autonomy or you're giving up your self-respect. If you're having to submit and give up your self-respect and your autonomy, that's not submitting. That's being a slave. You're being a slave at that point. Don't be a slave to nobody. So, yeah, submit, but do it with the right person. It's very big. On to the next question. Next question. What's your go-to guilty pleasure? Oh man, that's a great question. Not necessarily a guilty pleasure, but it is a pleasure of mine. And if you know me, you know I love entertainment, and that takes many forms. Music, all my life, it's one of the few places I can go to vent any emotion and have. I don't feel, there's no guilt, there's no judgment. It's just a free space to feel good or bad. You can feel whatever you need to feel. It's a free space to feel. So music is my number one guilty pleasure, followed very, very closely by television. I love movies. I love a scene I can connect with. I love seeing people act out roles. It's it's just something that I've always found pleasure in since I've been a kid. It just makes me feel good, or it makes me feel bad, or it makes me feel. So yeah, that's another guilty pleasure. And to round off, the number 3 guilty pleasure that I have is comic books. Didn't really, I've been into comic book characters my whole life, but never really got into reading comics until I got into college. So I was 19 before I, went and picked out my first comic. And after that, I fell in love with it. I've been reading them ever since. I just bought some yesterday. I'm going to read when I get off of this podcast. It's a different world. It's a different way of thinking, a different level of creativity that I feel like it's not pushed enough, especially in Black culture. We need to push that. It's okay to be a nerd. It's better to be a nerd than be dead. So that's what my mom told me when I was little. I'd rather you watch these movies and read and do this weird shit than go out there in the streets and get your head blown off. So yeah, that's what I've always lived by. So I enjoy doing that. Those are my guilty pleasures, though. Comic books, TV, and music. On to the third question. What calms you down? My guilty pleasures calm me down. Every one of them at some level, I can, if say I'm having a bad day, which I don't have them as often as I used to when I was younger, because I worked on a lot of self-control, which everyone should. But, some days you just have those days where you're like, everything's getting on your nerves. A fucking fly could fly past your head and that could set you off, We have those days, right? So what calms me down really is music. That's the biggest. When I'm pissed off, I can literally, if I'm pissed off and I want to stay mad until I'm not mad, I'll listen to a song where, forgive me for it, motherfuckers are talking about murder, it just make me feel better. I feel it. I want to go beat that motherfucker head in, but I'm not going to do it because I got too much to live for. But it's good to have that, that outlet. If I'm happy, and I just want to, play a song that makes me feel happy. It makes me feel like, yeah, I feel good. I want to get vibing. I want to get up and turned up. There's a song for that. There's a song for every feeling, every feeling we have, right? So that's the thing that calms me down the most. And also television, too. Television, that's just, sometimes you can hear it, but sometimes you want to see it, and you need to see, these scenes acted out, and it just hits a different emotional chord, but it helps you, vent through that medium rather than going out and hurting somebody or doing something stupid. So that's another thing that calms me down. And last but not least, this is probably not the biggest, but it's the one where I can actively, release aggression. And that's through my punching bag. If you follow me on Snapchat or on Instagram, sometimes you'll see I'll put up my videos where I'm doing my self-sparring and, I do shadow boxing and stuff like that. Man, that shit is just straight up ventilation. That's all it is. When you have a rough day, I can come home and hit that bag as hard as I can and I won't get charged. I won't go to jail for beating the shit out that bag, and I'll beat the hell out of it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that honestly might be the most hands-on tactic I use to calm down is that punching bag helps me out defense so much. When I want to say some shit to somebody because they say something stupid to me, I don't do it. I hold it back and I say, you know what? When you get home, go work out. And it's called positive reinforcement. Something I had to learn early on. You need positive reinforcements. Negative reinforcements, getting fucked up, drinking, smoking, too much sex. That's a negative reinforcement. But positive reinforcements, working out, task-oriented things. These things are things you can do to help you become better as people. And I use them as, calm down and coping mechanisms and tools like that. So yeah, those are the things I do to calm down. Let's see. Next question. First thing I do if I won the lottery. Well, I tell you what I won't do. I wouldn't tell none of you motherfuckers. I wouldn't tell a soul. What the motherfucker? Listen, that's not me. That's not me throwing jabs or being rude. I'm being straight up. I wouldn't tell anybody because I need to sit with this for a minute. Especially if I win one of them big bitches. You serious? $1 billion? Man, I'm gonna sit down and say, bro, you never have to do anything if you don't want to ever again in your life. But I know me, I'm gonna have to do something. So I'm gonna sit down for I'm gonna sit with it for 6 months. I'm gonna still work my job. You won't know I'm rich. No one will know because nothing's gonna change for 6 months. And I'm gonna strategize it out, man. I would definitely I'd set up a portfolio for all of my immediate family members. They would all have a portfolio starting out with $2 million cash and investment opportunities, or I might buy some a small complex or duplex for them, something like that, where they can have residual money coming in plus the $2 million I already give them. And that would be the setup. And then after that, hell, I'm gonna let them run with it. If they're young, I can, there's different, I haven't looked too much into it because I don't have any kids, but I know if they're under 18, there's the accounts that benefit for kids and younger kids that when they grow up, they'll have money coming in residually. So I'm gonna look into some of those accounts as well and set those up for my younger siblings. Man, and after I got all that set up, shit. Motherfuckers wouldn't see me for a year. I'm serious. Like, I'm going MIA. All I got to do is I got people in my family that I trust that I know will look after my money and not take from me. And I know you say, somebody out there right now, you don't know that shit, bro. Them niggas just money make motherfuckers change. Yes, money makes people change, but there's certain motherfuckers, if they were going to change, it would have happened by now. So there's very few, but there's a couple. I would let them look over my accounts while I'm gone. I'd probably take about an M, maybe 1.5, and man, I would just travel the world. I'd travel the world. I would do what I want to do. I've always been big on self-improvement. So I would like to just get away somewhere. It's just as cliche as it sounds, maybe a monastery, something like that, where I can go work on myself. Really focus on what I need to do when I get back into the world and where I want to go from there. And that's all I would do for a year, man. Just experience life, before shit gets hectic. Because once you get that type of money, you think life's rough now. You can't even, man, I'm telling you. And this is coming from, I've picked up people, millionaires. I picked up a motherfucker he easily got 100 M's in his bank account. Now, he told me, he said, you think life's rough now? When you don't have, wait till you get it, and everybody wants it. It just gets 10 times harder. So I would have to plan out, how to deal with that and where I would go from there. But needless to say, my entire family is going to be set. They don't have to worry for shit. And that right there would make me feel like the most accomplished man to ever walk the earth. So, yeah, that answers that question. And then shout out to my cousin Cameron for sending me, he just sent me those last, 3 questions, and he sent me this one. So shout out to him for the questions. And this was also his. What's the best memory you have of us? Man, I'm going to tell you, I had to think on this one for a minute because, because we have some times. We have had some times, I cannot lie. But the coolest memory to me was, we went to the beach. I might have been, 11, 12 at the time, I think. And, man, listen, I'm going to tell you, as a kid, as like a teenager, man, I was not outgoing. I wasn't like this. I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't have made no damn podcast. I wouldn't have been talking to y'all. That just wasn't my personality, man. I was real reserved. So, you know, they used to try to help me, you know, be more outgoing and everything. So I was with my cousin Tamia, my uncle Dylan, my cousin Cameron, my sister Quay, and my grandmother and my aunt. And Shaquela, which is my sister, she was actually not the last guest on my podcast, but the one before that, the Quay's interview. That's her. She was down there, and my cousin Tamia, and they were trying to go out with some friends they had known from back home that was also down there to this teen club. Now, man, I did not party back then. That shit was not even in my mind. The only thing I focused on was playing video games, football, and going home, right? So I didn't know nothing about it. But it was like, come on, Jay, you can go. Like, you're finally, okay, I just turned 13. No, I was 12. But you could get in there. No, was I 12 or 13? I was 13. It was a teen club. So, yeah, I had just turned 13 a couple months before that. So they was like, yeah, you can get in there. You can go with us. So, you know, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I guess I'll go. So, man, I never forget. I didn't have any clothes. And I never forget because you gave me the fit. You gave me the tan cargos with the I think it was some the black, red, and white ones, and the black polo with the red horse on it. You know, I mean, I was looking fly down that motherfucker. I ain't even gonna lie, I was looking fly. I think I still got that pic on my Facebook too. I can't remember, but I remember the outfit. Yeah, Cuz gave me the whole outfit. He said, "Shit, Cuz, you going out? You can't go." And I didn't have no clothes. I mean, I had like sweatpants and shit. I looked like, you know, I did look like I was about to step out. He was like, "Cuz, you can't go out in that." Nah, I gotta give you some gear. So he gave me some gear, and she had some cologne and shit on. Man, I'm in the little teen club. I'm just standing in the back. I'm holding up the wall and shit. I don't know what to do, man. I don't party and shit like that. I never forget. I text Cuz. I was like, "Cuz," I don't really know what to do in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to do. He was like, "Cuz, just go get a dance." I was like, "What you mean?" He was like, "Just walk up." He's like, "Walk up behind the girl and just start dancing with her." And I was like, "I don't think that shit gonna work." Cuz he was like, "Cuz, just do it." So I just seen this one girl dancing, and I was just like, "Oh shit, all right, bet." So I tried it, and she started throwing her ass on me, and I was like, "Oh shit," you know, I was turned that motherfucker. I was like, "Oh shit, nigga, what?" So I text Cuz. I was like, "Cuz, that shit worked." Hey, you know, Cap, I was like, "That shit worked for real." He was like, "Hey, my nigga, turn." So yeah, that was probably that one, and then that same beach trip. I don't know if you remember. I still got the video of it. I was watching this shit the other day. It's actually hilarious. I made a Subway song. Shout out to Subway. Y'all need to endorse me because I cooked up a banger for y'all. I'm talking about certified. I could send it to you. Subway. If Subway, the person who runs the social media accounts, comes across this YouTube video, hit me up. I'm going to send you the link to the YouTube video. My very first YouTube video, the Subway song. That shit's a certified banger. Gonna forever be. Yes, yeah. But, yeah, so, I mean, that you know, you helping me out with the outfit, you know, the giving me the confidence boost, and the Subway song, because he put the battery in my backpack he's like, "Come on, Cuz, just go ahead and spit." And I was like, "All right, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it." And I went off the top with it, and I was just going crazy, you know. So yeah, that was probably the best memory we had. Remember, we've had so many, you know. Like I tell people all the time, that's like one of my brothers, essentially, man. So, you know, we grew up together. So yeah, definitely shout out my dog Cam. Salute you, appreciate you, Cuz. With that being said, though, man, we about to take this break real quick. We're gonna, you know, if you've watched any episodes before, you know how we do it. We're gonna plug in undiscovered, underrated music talent, and I'm gonna do that every week until. And this week we got shout out to my dog, ATM Franchise, Marcus Hawkins, my nigga from back home. And today's song is 93 Gas by ATM Franchise. You can check him out on any streaming platform. Yeah.
Rap around with my niggas, we move like the army. Chopper stay with me like I own the Harley. Run up them reds, got the streets going crazy. 93 gas, got my eyes looking lazy. Wrist in the pot, I was with me a baby. 93 gas, got my eyes looking lazy. Wrist in the pot, I was with me a baby. I got my stripes, so you cannot play. My niggas, they working, they moving like Uber. You plot on my bag, then you meeting my shooter. The way that I'm trapping, I'm making a movie. You mad at me, dog, but your bitch, she a groupie. passing the cut like I'm passing the wood.
wood.
Never been princess, get that understood. You looking for work, I supply your hood. I'm risking my life and I'm taking these chances. These short on that back and we snatching for ransom. These racks in my pocket, they calling me handsome. My nigga, he's solid, no question, no doubt. If image don't like him, I'm airing them out. They talking my name, yeah, they looking for clout. Me and Young and held it down in the jar. I'm feeling my bag and I'm feeling the mouth. Northside gangsta put in work in the south. Ride with my niggas, we move like the army. Choppers stay with me like I own a Harley. Run up them reds, got the streets going crazy.
93 gas, that's ATM franchise. 93 gas, get on there.
Got my eyes looking lazy. Wrist in the pot, that's with me a baby. I got my stripes, so you cannot play. These niggas be capping, they really ain't gang. I got off the porch and I got me some stain. I'm twisting my fingers, I'm moving, I bang. Try like the 80s, I'm serving these babies. I dive in the water like I'm in the Navy. That boy ain't no shooter, he nervous, he shaking. They copy my drip, so I know that I'm wavy. They copy my drip, so I know that I'm wavy. I'm running my town and I'm serving these pounds. He run off on me and I'm gunning them down. If he ain't my money, why bring him around? These niggas ain't gang, so I know that they fake. Drop the pen, put the Glock in his face. Free all my niggas that's locked in the cage. Going off that gas, got me winning the race. Going off that gas, got me winning the race. Round with my niggas, we move like the army. Choppers stay with me like I own a Harley. Run up them reds, got the streets going crazy. 93 gas, got my eyes looking lazy.
Wrist in the pot, I just with me a baby.
93 gas, got my eyes looking lazy. Wrist in the pot, I was with me a baby. I got my stripes, so you cannot play me.
Yeah, 93 gas ATM franchise. Check that out. All streaming platforms today, right now, today. Yeah. And again, that was 93 gas by ATM franchise. Shout out to my dog Marcus. Keep doing your thing out there, dog. Much love, much love. Without further ado, let's get right back into it. Excuse me. NCAA football and NFL updates. Oh my God. I got some shit to say to y'all motherfuckers. I got some shit to say to everybody at this motherfucker. Listen, let's start off here. College football. Washington football team, the Football College of Washington. What the hell is going on? You got the highest ranking passing offense in the nation, and your top receivers aren't even touching 100 yards. The number one receiver for the highest rated passing offense in the nation has not got over 100 yards in the last 3 games. What the fuck are y'all doing in that coaching room? He's a priority. He would be a priority. And now, of course, I'm talking about Odunze, someone that I've been taking since the last 3 weeks and ain't won no fucking money off of because they don't pass him the ball. You got, supposedly, he's a Heisman contender, and he's not even touching 300 yards hardly anymore because he's not passing the ball. Who the hell, let me run it back. Who the hell decided it was a smart idea to run their running back 26 times? Now, listen, I'm not mad. I'm mad because I lost money, of course. But I can't be mad at that man because he's doing what he has to do to get to that next level. So shout out to Washington's running back. Hey, all I want to know is if you're going to do that next time, you need to let me in on the information. Let the public know what's going on. Hey, we plan to balance the attack out a little bit this week. We might look a little more to the running game. Thank you for telling me that. Now I can put some money on the fucking running back. This motherfucker had 26 carries, 256 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's never done that in his career. How the fuck am I supposed to predict that? You riddle me that shit, okay? I couldn't predict it. But the number one wide receiver on the number one passing offense and supposedly the number one quarterback in the nation don't cover their yard. This is some crazy shit, man. This is crazy. Fucked up all my little parlays I had going. So that was me venting my frustrations with that. Man, what the actual fuck? That was crazy. Ohio State, I'm going to tell you, Rutgers got a damn defense. Rutgers' defense is no slouch. The number one receiver in the entire nation, Marvin Harrison Jr., got shut down last week. Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns, but he had 2 touchdowns on basically goal line plays. 25 yards receiving. He's not went under 100 yards the entire season. 25 yards receiving? Fucked up all my other little parlays. I had him and Odunze in so many. My parlays was fucked. Man, that's crazy. But I tell you what, though, any coach that plays Ohio State in the future, they gave you the blueprint on how to win. If Ohio State didn't have such a dominant running back, they wouldn't have won that game last week. Rutgers had no answer for their running back. He's getting 4 or 5 yards every touch. They had no answer. If you have a solid defensive line that can stop the run game against Ohio State, and then you can do what Rutgers DBs did to Marvin Harrison, you'll win the game. They gave you the blueprint. So if you hear this video and you any of the teams that's got to play them in the future, you know what to do now. But outside of all of the, personal, most of that's just your personal ventilation. Outside of all of that, right now we're looking at, I think, Ohio State remain number one after the coaching polls and the new polls came out. Ohio State remains at number one, Georgia at number 2, Michigan at number 3, Florida State at 4, and Washington at 5. Oregon is the only, they're the first one-loss team, and at that number 6 spot. I'm going to be honest, can't be no slip-ups. Somebody's going home between Michigan and Ohio State because they have to play the last game of the season. So one of those teams is probably not going to make it to that college football playoffs. So that means for Washington, which is right outside at that number 5 slot, if they win out, which they should, they have a test coming up this week. They got Utah, and Utah's no slouch. But if Washington can hold off Utah and win out, they're looking at potentially a number 4, maybe even a number 3 position. Because let's be real, Georgia, they look solid. They're not the Georgia of last year. Let's not get that confused. They lost a lot of their key pieces that they went to the league, of course. But they're still Georgia. So 9-0, they're rolling number 2. Excited to see how they finish it out. But they still got to play them boys. They probably still going to have to play Bama, and that's not going to be an easy game. The SEC championship can shake some things up. So nothing's guaranteed. And Florida State, don't slip up. Because you got still some teams in there that can upset them. They got to play the ACC championship. And whoever they play, it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a dogfight. So there could be some shakeups coming in the next few weeks within college football. I'm going to keep you updated on that as it develops. So stay tuned with that. NFL updates. That was my grunt. I had to get that out before I start because I was going to aggressively talk if I didn't. The Washington Commanders, my football team, the team I have had an allegiance to and a profound loyalty to since I was 6 years old. Why do y'all do this to me? Why do y'all do this dumb shit? We traded away Montez Sweat and Chase Young, 2 of our best defensive players, for 2 second-round picks and a third-round pick in the future. We didn't even get a fucking first-round pick. We traded away our 2 of our best fucking defenders for 2 second rounds and a third round. Do you hear that shit? That's bullshit, man. It's like we want to lose. I think we enjoy losing. We don't enjoy being a winning program because it would just be too fucking good, I guess. I don't understand it, bro. I don't understand what the play was. What was the ploy? You want to build for the future? Fuck the future. We need some shit. We had some shit going now. We just had to switch up a few things as far as the coaching call. We had a solid defense. What the fuck was y'all thinking when y'all did that? I don't get that. For the future, fuck, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. Oh my God. I don't know, man. I hope, we can finish it out at least 500. Maybe make a run at the playoffs. If not, fuck it. Let's just lose out so we can get a good pick. I mean, I don't know what they're going for at this point, so I'm not going to guess. The Carolina Panthers. Oh my God. I feel so bad for Bryce Young, and I feel bad for Bryce Young because the people are no better. They talk so much shit about him because he has so much expectations. Everybody wants to compare him to C.J. Stroud. You see what he did when they faced off last week. Whooped C.J. Stroud's ass as far as passing yards, completions, and his completion rate and everything. So what are you talking about? The problem is not Bryce Young. The problem is that boo-boo ass line they got in the second-rate receivers. They don't have Thielen is their best receiver. He's their number 1 option. He's a possession receiver, though. They don't have a deep threat. They need a deep threat. None of the receivers they have are deep threats, nor are they primary superstar receivers. They need a superstar receiver, man. He needs that because no one can get open. It don't matter how fucking good the quarterback is if nobody can get open. You can't throw it to anybody. And it damn sure don't matter how good a quarterback is if the fucking line cannot block. And I got off on Sunday, right? I was like, I'm not doing shit. I was feeling good. I had a few beers. I was like, you know what? I'm going to the Panthers game. Fuck it. It was only $55 for my seat. I got in there. I watched that shit to halftime. Man, I seen one play that is scarred. It is seared into my brain. Bryce Young got tackled by 4 guys. Now, I don't know if the defense was they played Indianapolis, of course. I don't know if the Colts was in a 4-3, which is when you got four defensive linemen and 3 linebackers, or they was in a 3-4 and then they just walked one of the linebackers down. But all I know is I looked to the right, I looked to the left, they snapped the ball. There was 4 motherfuckers running at them and none of them got touched. I mean, their jerseys didn't even get pulled. What the fuck is the offensive line doing? If I had to equate it to something, it was the football equivalent to gangbang. He was getting fucked. Because there was nothing he could do there. He was just fucked. Oh my God, it was disgusting to see. I almost wanted to get up right then, but I paid $55 for that ticket, so I was at least going to stay to halftime. It didn't get any better. It didn't get not a damn bit better. So to Bryce Young, I apologize if they talking shit. I understand it's not your fault. There's nothing you can do when you don't have fucking 2 seconds to read through your progressions as a quarterback. You can't do shit. It don't matter how good you are. And speaking of, the play that I was just talking about, it wasn't even a screen pass. Usually those linemen rush like that when it's a screen play. This wasn't a screen play. This was just a regular pass. He didn't even have a second. What the? Man, I was going to talk about USC, but I'm already pissed off. And if I talk about them, it's not going to make me feel any better. And I want to kind of leave this day with some type of positivity. So I'm just not going to talk about USC because fuck are y'all doing? Anyways, the last question. We're going to round it off like this. What's your favorite holiday and why? Now, I believe it was in one of my previous Dirty 30s. I talked about this, but it's the holiday season, and fuck it. I like talking about holidays because I get to take a break. So, my favorite holiday used to be Christmas. Why? Because, of course, I got presents. You get that joyful feeling of being a kid, knowing that something you asked for was going to be under that tree. It was amazing. But now that I'm older, I don't get presents. I have to give presents. And I have to give up a lot of money. So it's not as fun anymore. I mean, it's still joyful, though, to see, my younger siblings get what they want. That is a joyful thing. Don't get me twisted. But, that money I got to break off is kind of stressful. But to answer the question, my favorite holiday now is Thanksgiving, beyond a shadow of a doubt. What did Ross say? Big black nigga and an icy watch. Well, I'm a big black nigga, but I ain't got no icy watch, though. So, I like to get some food in me, and I like to drink beer, and I like to watch football, and I can do all 3 of those and kick it with family. It's like the 4-time whammy, baby. I get to do it all. So, yeah, definitely Thanksgiving has taken over as my favorite holiday by far. I enjoy it the most, and I cannot wait. I believe it's in 2 weeks to see all of my family and celebrate with them. So, yeah, Thanksgiving. With that being said, guys, this has been the 5th segment, the 5th part of the Dirty 30 with JO2. If you like these Dirty 30s, send me some interesting questions, things you want me to talk about, topics. I love to talk about this. I love to get my thoughts out there on them because, hey man, I just love to talk about shit. To be real, I love to talk about shit. I love to start conversations. It makes my brain work, and that excites me. So let's keep it going. Let's keep these Dirty 30s rolling, and I will see you back next week with another interview from a special guest. I can't tell you who it is right now, but a very good friend of mine. With that being said, thank you, and have a nice weekend. Peace.
I don't be scared. Dirty Dirty's in the air, boy. I don't be scared. Dirty Dirty's in the air, boy. I don't be scared. We be that dirty dirty. We be that dirty dirty. We be that dirty dirty.